Hi folks, welcome back to an episode of the Liverpool Complete Playthrough with me, .BenGFM, and today is... it's going to be a tough one. Basically, the situation is this. If you saw yesterday's episode, you'll know a defeat to Arsenal has left things in the balance, I dare say. If we beat Spurs today, there's still a chance. But if you lose to Spurs today, you've got to think the title race is most certainly over. We'll be a good, 8 points behind if we lose today. That gap with only 4 games to go is too much to make up, and top 4 would become the priority. It would become the thing we need to focus on most. Now, luckily for us, Southampton and Arsenal meet today, meaning obviously both teams can't win, so that gives us a chance to gain on both of those, or one of those at least, if results go as expected. So if we beat Spurs, Arsenal and Southampton maybe draw, Southampton win. That pulls everything again very close together, but it really does depend on if we beat Spurs. And so far this season, our time against Tottenham has been, I would say, mixed. Of course, we beat them in the FA Cup final, but there was a big defeat to them earlier on in the season. Jordan Henderson got the goal, but Spurs ran out 3-1 winners with Daniel Sturridge getting the goal as well. So it's going to be a tricky game, a difficult game, and in terms of the lineup, there's many things we can do. So as we go forward, then we'll see who's fit and able for the game, and hopefully it'll give us the best chance of winning. Eric Dyer looks like he could be injured for Spurs, which might be good news for us, although midfield's an area where they do have quite a lot of decent players. It's fair to say Liverpool didn't have the best of times against Arsenal, so are you looking for a reaction from your players for this game, or in this game? The whole team wants to bounce back with a win. There's been a large swell of support from the fans for your eye-catching passing style. I certainly hope we can continue to do that. I'm confident we can hold our end of the bargain when it comes to the Premier League title, and I think Spurs will be worse off without Daniel Sturridge. That's annoying. I'm going to say I consider a strong favourite, so I'm going to try and put the confidence into my boys, and hopefully that means we can come out on top with it then. I am talking up Sturridge, which is strange considering we let him go at the start of the season, but I don't think we'd have done, I've got to be honest, right, I don't think we'd have done that much better with Daniel Sturridge. I really don't. I think the style of player he is, that he needs the ball a lot to flourish. I think if you've seen Liverpool play this season, I think when Sturridge is on the ball, he's a good player. With this system, with the way we play, I feel like Roberto Firmino, whoever the striker is, it's sort of the finishing touch, and I don't necessarily think Daniel Sturridge is the finishing touch kind of player. I think he likes to be a little bit more involved than that. Actually, really interesting. How many assists does Firmino have? 5 assists, so quite a few. But I still think that you've seen Firmino score a lot of sort of one-touch finishes in and around the area, and you've not seen him create all that much. And again, 5 assists in 32 games, or 36 overall appearances, isn't that much. So regardless, as we get over close to the game then, it's tonight, so let's pick the team. Let's go through this. Let's think about this a little bit more in depth than normal. I think at the back, we changed nothing. I do think that the back 5 is becoming quite stable now. There's no need to change that around too much. I think Kolasinac's doing okay. Klein's not too bad. Against Arsenal, that wasn't really the problem. Now the question then comes in is what do we do with players like Sadio Mane? Do we give them the start for Keita Balde instead? Do we put one on one side, Coutinho back into the middle? I think that's what we're going to do. I think that's what we're going to try out. We're going to play Coutinho in behind Firmino, who plays up front, of course. Lallana's going to step out. We're going to bring in then Sadio Mane and then have Keita as the inside forward on that left-hand side. In the middle, I'm actually going to bring Emre Can back in for Wijnaldum. I think, well, it's not at a bad time of it. I think Emre Can offers us a little bit more strength, a little bit more height as well in the middle, and set pieces might be key in today's game. Elsewhere, Divock Origi is going to make the bench today for, who should we put there instead? Instead of Danny Ings. Of course, he can play on either side of the flanks as well as up front, and I think the rest of the side pretty much picks itself. I'm not going to put a keeper on the bench. Milner, Grujic, Gomez, Wijnaldum, Lallana, Moreno, and Origi. I think we can probably afford to take Moreno off, put Pastore on, maybe a little X factor late in the game. You never know. So let's get into this one then. Instructions are as follows, as they always are. Exploiting both flanks, passing into space, of course, those wide areas. They're quick, get it in those areas. We're going to close down a little bit more today, though, I think, and retain possession with a mixed style. Of course, Mane and Can not played that much football recently, so they may well be substituted late in the game, or sort of 65, 70-minute mark. So how are we going to get on? This is a big moment, really big moment. If we lose to Spurs, as I mentioned at the start, it's done. If we beat them, then my word, the final 4 or so games are going to be very, very exciting. Spurs playing Sturridge on the left-hand side, which is interesting. Son Heung-min on the right-hand side, Eriksen behind Harry Kane, Dele Alli and Moussa Dembele a little bit further back. As I say, no Eric Dyer then, and their back 5 is what you'd expect. Walker, Alderweireld, they've got Vertonghen and Danny Rose, and of course Hugo Lloris. Bench isn't bad either. Eric Dyer actually makes the bench with Wanyama, Davis, Trippier, Wimmer and Sissoko. So if they don't score goals, there's not a massive change they can make there really in forward areas. They haven't got got lots of flying wingers. They haven't got any strikers on the bench. It's quite a defensive bench in that regard, whereas we've got lots of players that can change the game for the better. So this is a big team talk. I think we're going to try and stay calm though, and I'm going to say that I expect to win tonight and see how they look. Some of them look nervous, some look deep in thought. I'm going to keep it the calm. But actually, no, we're going to go for the assertive approach. I have faith in you. Go out there and make the difference. You know, I'm going to try and give them the belief that, look, we can do this today. Don't you worry about it. Oh, I love that. I just absolutely love that behind corner flag view. I just noticed the ball starts on the centre spot, which is a little bit weird. The ref should have it. Okay, anyway, don't get bogged down in things that don't matter, Ben. Here we are then at Anfield. It's Liverpool versus Tottenham Hotspur. Beat them, and we have a chance to gain on them, lose to them, and we have a situation on our hands. As the first chance of the game then falls to Danny Rose, who puts it into the middle. Mignolet claims, and just nearly 7 minutes on the clock. Little's happening so far. I'm expecting us to have more of the ball, but that's not always the case, so keep an eye on that. Let's see if we do, throughout the game, have more of the ball, as it seems to be Spurs dominating from the early stages. Eriksen plays out to Son Heung-min, who's got Harry Kane and Dembele in the middle, but goes back to Walker at right back, and our Dele Alli's chance. But Emre Can nips in there, wins it off him, and maybe a counter-attack. We've seen us score from these so often, haven't we? Into Henderson, through to Mane, who shot on goal, saved by Hugo Lloris and cleared by Danny Rose. Great stuff from us, I have to say, early on in the game. Not too bad at all. Mane finding that little bit of room, again, playing that attacking role. Danny Rose, we saw, ventured forward in that start of the attack, and Mane found himself in lots of space. A good save from Lloris was the only thing to keep him out. 15 minutes or so gone then, and there's still time. Loads of time in this first half for us to make an impact. I'd love to be leading at half time just for the old game management. I feel like that makes it a little bit easier for us. I think Southampton, by the way, are beating Arsenal elsewhere. So really, if we beat Spurs, that will put the cat amongst the pigeons, as Harry Kane might be going through. Van Dijk does really, really well. But no, gives it away. Son Heung-min, as he goes to the byline, pulls it back. Harry Kane's there, and Harry Kane scores. We're going to go attacking straight away. 20 minutes gone. Harry Kane, 11th goal of the season. Not prolific this season for Spurs, as we've seen in real life. But Southampton win. That really does put them in a really strong position. Puts them into 4th, and we will fall to 5th, which is not what we're looking for at all. Harry Kane then, little deflection, I think maybe off the foot of Van Dijk, which wrong foot's Mignolet. But it's quite an easy finish. They get in behind really, really well. So we're going to try and put pedal to the metal a little bit. These midfield two, I've got to start controlling things. I've got to start dictating the play. And half an hour gone, Spurs with the lead. Of course, lost to Arsenal, losing to Spurs back-to-back. I mean, it would signal a lot, wouldn't it? As Coutinho then, corner ball whipped in towards Van Dijk, heads it down to Firmino, strike on goal. Manages to Mane, was the sentence I was trying to get out. Manages to back heel to Mane, who gets a shot on goal. The voice went there. The voice completely went. It was, I don't know where it went, but it felt like it was being controlled by somebody else. That was the problem I had. As a corner kick to Spurs, Eriksen floats it in towards Sturridge, cleared though, forced to Dele Alli, who's got an option on the edge if he finds him. Son Heung-min's there, blocked and cleared behind. Emre Can just got in the way of it, and it looks as if it's going to be 1-0 as we get closer to half time. And is there some radical change needed to make this happen? I've got something in mind. We've not seen it all season. I'm going to tell them they've been unlucky. And shall we bring it back? Shall we bring it back for the final games of the season? Do we just give it a go? Just because I don't feel like we're getting in behind at all at the moment. I don't feel like we're having any clear-cut chances. If we just overload them in those areas, I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to try it. Let's try it. Coutinho's not having a good game. We're changing up his role slightly. Can he produce the difference? There's a chance what I'll do actually is I'll take Keita off in a minute, bring Lallana on in the central area, and put Coutinho out on the left-hand side, maybe. As it's a goal kick. Lloris to take, launches it forward, and towards Daniel Sturridge. Klein doesn't quite win it in the air, but Van Dijk manages to get it under control, and now it's Mane into Firmino. And we're going to see lots of running from Jordan Henderson, hopefully, in this half. Maybe that'll be our source of goals, as Klein ventures forward. I mean, did he trip over the grass there? What was that? Shan, though, into Henderson. Coutinho into Firmino. Roberto Firmino with the goal. And I tell you, this tactic, and well, maybe it was too early when we used it at the start of the season, but it's back with a bang here. It's 1-1, and we're back in the game. The system changes worked wonders. The Danny Rose clearance wasn't good. Shan picked it up immediately. It's Henderson, Coutinho, and then Firmino into that far corner. Makes it 1-1. We're back in the game, folks. This is not over by any stretch. Southampton, as I say, still leading, I think, at Arsenal. They're all on 67. Spurs on on 70. A goal for us would be huge, but a goal for Spurs would be devastating, as it's cleared back out to Eriksen again, whose delivery is very, very good. Finds Walker, back to Eriksen, left-footed, swings it in, Van Dijk clears, and now it's Firmino. The counter-attack's not quite on, and Eriksen finds himself in space, hits it over the bar. Frantic football at the moment at Anfield, still 1-1. Is there going to be a final twist in this tale? We are going to make that change, I'm going to put Coutinho on the left-hand side. Lallana's going to come and play it up through the middle. And I don't think any more changes at this stage need to be made. Can we find a late winner? We're on attacking. 15 or so minutes to go. Is there anything else we can change at this point? It's a slightly different tactic, of course. Let's try and work it into the box. Let's try and work it up there. Just find that one clear-cut chance that we need at the end of this game. 10 minutes or so to go. We're playing fluid football. Is it going to come? Is there going to be a final chance? Well, it's a free kick to Spurs in a dangerous area. Daniel Sturridge could put a stop to all of this. Harry Kane lays it off to Eric Dyer. Finds Trippier now on this right-hand side. Ball played in. Van Dijk heads clear. And now could this be our chance? Could this be the breakaway? Firmino, ball over the top towards Adam Lallana, the second half substitute. Great control from him. Finds Henderson. He's got runners as well. Mane's in on goal. Sadio Mane with the goal. It's 85 minutes nearly on the clock. Sadio Mane, the breakaway from Liverpool. It all started from a Spurs free kick. And look at that then. How tight is that getting now? Manchester United, I think, have taken the lead as well. Southampton, as I assume, are beating Arsenal. Henderson then slides the ball through to Mane, who's up in that advanced area, and finds the finish past Hugo Lloris. Now, what do you do here? We're on attacking. Do we stop this immediately and go to a more standard? I don't want to go defensive. I don't want to invite the pressure. We'll go standard, though. If we can hold on to this win, everything, all bets are off, folks. The end of the season is ridiculous. Those 5 sides at the top of the league are very, very close. And as Lloris launches it forward, there are 5 seconds remaining in the game. This is a huge win in the context of the season. It keeps us in 4th position. Southampton have done a job on Arsenal, and oh my word, it's tight now. 2-1 winners then. We come out of it. Mane with a goal. We didn't take him off in the end. We kept him out there for the entire game. Same goes for Emre Can. Those 2 boys deserve the plaudits. As I say, Arsenal did lose 2-0 to Southampton. Manchester United 2-0 against Burnley, as you'd probably expect. And oh my word, is it hotting up. Shall we take a quick look before we end this episode today? We've got some time. Let's see who the teams around us then have got to play. Do any of these teams meet each other? That's the thing. We'll start with us, actually. So we've got Southampton next. Huge game. Massive game still. Sunderland, Leicester, of course, former champions, and then Everton. Rivals Everton. Blimey, Merseyside derby, final day of the season. That is set to be an absolute cracker. Spurs then, top of the table. They've got quite an easy run in. An FA Cup semi-final, but Sunderland, Leicester, Watford and Burnley. If they slip up there, oh my, it could be tense. You can see that the games they've had recently, they've fallen against Manchester United, Chelsea, and now we've beaten them. So they're on a little bit of a sticky patch now as well. Let's look at Manchester United then. What have they got on the horizon? Any tough games for them coming up? They've got Arsenal in the FA Cup semi-final, City on the final day. Wow, so it's a Manchester derby and a Merseyside derby on the same day, final day of the season. Watford, Stoke and Middlesbrough, the other sides they've got to face. Let's look at Arsenal. Who have they got to play? Anyone interesting? So Arsenal have got when FA Cup semi-final, but it's not loaded properly. Hang on, let's just do that again. Come on, we need this. Where is it? Okay, so they play Everton, West Ham, Hull and Bournemouth. So Everton's a tricky game. West Ham, bit of a London derby. Hull and Bournemouth might cause a few problems. We'll go down to Southampton as well. They're the only other team that really matter here. The gap now between them and Chelsea, 7 points. That's quite a big one. Southampton then have to play us next, of course. Everton, Bournemouth and West Ham. Very similar fixtures to Arsenal there. So then, okay, there's lots of teams playing a similar set of teams as well. Mignolet with 16 clean sheets. That's worth noting, by the way. Van Dijk's having a great season too. And there we are then. If we just won some of those extra games, it's a very, very tight season. It really is. Lots of draws. Spurs on 69 then, United on 69, Arsenal, Liverpool and Southampton on 67, Chelsea way back, City on 38, by the way. I mean, what is happening there? They're closer to relegation than they are the top 4. And that's going to bring us to the end then. Very exciting. I mean, next episode, Southampton tomorrow. Keep an eye out for it. Things are hotting up. If you enjoyed today's video, of course, leave a like. If you want to see some more, subscribe to the channel. And we love with care. From Minutes to Mention. So it's time. Goodbye. What a win!